Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. I hope you're ready for tea inspiration. You know, everybody loves tea. Most of the world loves tea either like this or, interestingly, in lots of countries like the UK and Australia, New Zealand, with milk, South Africa too, and of course in Sri Lanka, we love tea with milk and even worse, with condensed milk. But today we're talking about something a little bit different. We're going to talk about tea in cocktails, in mocktails, and the principle extends beyond, because tea is truly a beautiful pairing with life. Why is that? Because tea on its own is incredibly good for human health. It's cleansing, it's varied. You've got your light teas, you've got your bright teas, you've got your malty and strong teas, and you've got tea with every description, pairing with every moment of every day. But then you've got tea that matches elegantly with food. We looked at that: sweet, savory, salad, any type of food. There is always a tea that pairs perfectly. And the beautiful thing is that in pairing perfectly, it brings out the flavor and then it removes the flavor. So incredible palate cleansing, and it's fantastic what it does inside, because if we start talking antioxidants in tea, like we did a while ago with Dr. Tissa Marcon, there is no end to that conversation. But check it out on PubMed, 20,000 research papers on how good tea is for human health. But so today we are going to start with a question. You know our polls. Some of you love them, some of you don't. Our question is, have you ever mixed a tea-inspired drink? That is tea cocktail, mocktail, a tea smoothie, chai, or iced tea? Tell us, please. Yes, you love tea cocktails. Brilliant. No, not a big fan. Okay, that's fair enough. Yes, not cocktails, but love tea mocktails, chais, and iced teas. Brilliant. So yes, love tea cocktails wins the day. So with that, I'm going to go on to make an introduction to a wonderful and very skilled sommelier, mixologist. You could call Alberto many things, but you could also call him a very talented and passionate Spaniard. And today, Alberto, I think, is coming to us from Barcelona. Alberto, how are you?
Hi, good. What about you?
Everybody wants to know, mostly me, are you in Barcelona or in Madrid?
I'm in Barcelona.
Fantastic. Beautiful city. And how is it? Is everything good? You're safe and well?
Yes, Spain is getting better and better.
Fantastic. Yeah. So now Alberto is a man who does incredible things, not only with tea cocktails, he also does incredible things with non-alcoholic teas. So I tasted his iced tea a couple of years ago. That was in Madrid, wasn't it? At the family business event. It was beautiful. And that's the wonderful thing, because when you look at tea as a functional and sensory ingredient and combine it with fruits and spices and herbs like Alberto does, you don't always need alcohol. So today, we're going to be looking at a variety of different options. So with that, less of me, more of Alberto. Let me introduce Alberto Pizarro, incredible specialist in cocktails, mocktails, and now beautifully tea-inspired. Alberto, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, let's gonna start with a classic cocktail. We're gonna make a mocktail based on a very known cocktail, which is the Mojito. I know I need to work and speak at the same time because it's just 15 minutes for 4 cocktails, so I will work at the same time that I will make this cocktail. Well, if we think about a Mojito or a virgin Mojito, we need to balance 2 key flavors in mixology: the citrus, the sour, and the sweet. Well, we need to start adding 2 bar spoons of pure cane sugar. You can use brown sugar, you can use white sugar, but make sure that you are using cane sugar, not beetroot or any other kind of sugar. You can use any other sweetener like date syrup, agave syrup, You can use honey, but then it won't be a vegan version. We're gonna do today a vegan version of the mojito, vegan and virgin version. So we have the sweet part of our cocktail, 2 tablespoons of cane sugar. We need to balance the sweetness with some sourness. We could use limes or lemons. In Spain, we call lemons to the yellow ones and limes to the green ones. But I know, depending on the country, this is called the opposite. We're gonna use the green one, the lime. Why? Because lime is a little bit more exotic and less sour and more aromatic than the yellow one. We're gonna cut it half. We're gonna get in 2 pieces. We're gonna remove the top and the bottom of the fruit that bring us a lot of bitterness, but not so much flavor. I'm gonna make it easier to muddle. We're gonna do this. Not completely cut, but it will help us to muddle. What is to muddle? Muddle is to squeeze. We're gonna squeeze the lime. We're gonna get the juice of the lime. We're gonna get also the essential oils that are on the skin of the lime. We could use peach lime, like lime juice, but then we won't get the aroma of the essential oils. So once we have the lime and the sugar, we're gonna try to melt a little bit, dissolve the. We're gonna add the mint, fresh mint, fresh mint. In the recipe, you can read 5 mint leaves. Usually, we find 4 or 5 leaves, but this really depends on the size of the leaf. Today, I found these small leaves, so I need to add at least, let's say, 7 or 8 leaves. They are quite small. So don't follow the recipe exactly as it says, because sometimes you find different size of mint. So in order to release the aroma, do this, and then we put inside of our glass. And we keep this for garnish. So we work in the aroma, mix everything together, and then it's usually, if it was a normal mojito, we will add the rum, but in this case, we're gonna keep it non-alcoholic. We fill it with crushed ice. What is crushed ice? It's nothing else than broken ice. You have the big ice cubes here that I will use later, big ice cubes. And then we have crushed ice. The reason why I use crushed ice is because it will get colder faster. So we fill our glass with the crushed ice, and then we add the tea. In this case, I'm going to use Moroccan mint green tea. I'm sure that Dilhan, you will explain deeper this tea, but what we get with this tea is green tea, mint flavor. So we're going to use the mint both in the tea and also fresh mint. It will combine the flavor of the tea with the freshness of the mint. That will stimulate this nerve here. That is the same nerve that gets us colder when we eat a mint chewing gum, something like that. So we are going to add 150 ml. This tea has been cold brewed. That means that has been steeped in the bag, in the water, room temperature water, for hours. How many hours? Well, it really depends on a lot of things, but around 8 hours. You won't get an over extracted tea because you are using not hot water, but room temperature water, right? So don't worry, you won't have a very, very bitter tea here. Okay, this is amazing, this is good, but it lacks some sparkling feeling. When you drink a mojito, there is always a top of soda sparkling water. So we're gonna keep this sparkling water touch. We're gonna top the drink with the sparkling water. So we will get soda. So we will get the same feeling as when we drink a mojito. Okay. We will stir and we garnish with the remaining fresh mint And of course, we use an straw, an ecological straw, plastic-free. This is made with agave fibers. So we have our first mocktail, is vegan and virgin mojito, tea-based Moroccan bean green tea with few peppermint leaves. Fresh, very, very easy to drink. Everybody will love this drink. Okay, so we have our first drink here. What do you think about this drink? Okay, now we're gonna change. We're gonna go into a famous long drink, maybe the most famous long drink in the world, are the Cuba Libre, rum and coke, and the gin and tonic water. There are hundreds, thousands of different gins in the market right now. Actually, you can find now non-alcoholic gins. If you want to make this cocktail healthier, suitable for everybody, you can use a non-alcoholic gin. There are a few gins in the market right now. It's quite a new category. Why gin? Why gin will pair amazingly well with the perfect Ceylon green tea, the tea that I'm going to use for this gin and tonic? Because both gin and some of the drinks that we use lately, like vermouth, contains herbs. In gin, we call these herbs botanicals. This includes herbs, flower, bark, spices, etc. So basically, a gin is a flavor spirit. It's a botanical flavor spirit. And what better botanical we can find than a tea? It's a herb that has this little bitter taste that will pair a lot, very, very well with the gin. So I'm going to go very this drink. So what we need to make this drink? A big, big glass. The bigger the glass, the better for this drink. More ice means less dilution and more cold for the drink. People think it's the opposite, but less ice is more dilution. The ice melts faster. A lot of ice will melt slower. So a lot of ice for this drink. In the glass, remove this water. You don't need this water anymore. Okay, now 5 centiliters, 50 ml of your favorite gin. Now, usually, we will top it with tonic water. We're going to split the same amount of tonic water with Ceylon green tea. Yeah, we're going to use 100 ml. Again, this tea is cold. It's not a good idea to mix hot tea with ice because it will melt, and that will be very watery. So, is there space for more ice cubes? More ice cubes. But we're going to top it with tonic water. Why? Because otherwise people will, same as Mojito, will feel that it's lacking something, some recognizable flavors from tonic water, this bitterness coming from the quinine, and also the fizziness. So what we have done is we have combined tea, tonic water, and gin, both botanical based. So this drink makes a lot of sense. If you want to do something even riskier, you feel very brave, finish this drink with some essential oils coming from the lime zest, or we could even add lime wedge, or even extra lime juice if you are a really fan of the citrus. So our second drink is here. I was saying, if you feel very brave, you want to experiment a lot, you want to make something really, really interesting, instead of using the tea as I used here, you can infuse the gin with the tea. You can put a couple of tea bags, infusing your gin, room temperature, and this will add an extra botanical to your favorite gin. So imagine your Beefeater, your Bombay, whatever brand you use. a flavor with an extra botanical that maybe the distillery haven't even think about using tea in this recipe, but I'm sure that will work. Again, cold tea, room temperature run out, but this tea was brewed with with hot water in the usual way. Remove the tea bag, let it chill, or just do the cold brew. You don't need the temperature because you are not going to add hot temperature to your drink. So let's go. Our third drink, the Negroni, tea-based Negroni. Negroni is it's one of the favorite, the bartender's favorite drink because it combines the bitterness and the sweetness of Italian vermouth and Italian bitter. So again, we start with ice cubes. We get the temperature. So basically, we have chilled the glass. This is what we have done here. Chilling the glass. So this drink is going to be alcoholic. Should be alcoholic because there is no non-alcoholic replacement for some of the ingredients. But as we are going to use the chamomile as main ingredient, it's going to be lighter in alcohol than the regular Negroni. So 30 ml of Campari. This is the premium version of Campari. Maybe you will find this one is barrel aged, but you can use the normal Campari. Easily found everywhere worldwide. Italian bitter based on a lot of herbs. Again, we play with the herbs. A red vermouth, sweet red vermouth, wine infused with botanical, with herbs again. So it makes a lot of sense. 3 centiliters, 30 ml, 1 ounce, depending on measuring. And then the chamomile. Chamomile has also been room temperature infused for 8 hours. So I can remove the tea bag now, chamomile. And again, we add chamomile to drink. This will be a very, very different approach to the Negroni. It will be lighter. It will be very refreshing. The sweetness of the chamomile and the Campari and the vermouth will be balanced with the bitterness of the Campari and the vermouth, coming from different herbs. And sorry, where's my knife? And I'm gonna garnish it with lime wedge, slice of lime peel, depending on how much you like. Sorry, orange. How much you like the orange. I'm really fan of the orange, so I will use this big piece of my camera here of orange. Nice, refreshing aperitif based on chamomile, Campari, and vermouth. Okay, time for the last of the cocktails. The Cosmopolitan. Well, Cosmopolitan-based drink. Usually the Cosmopolitan, we serve it in this sort of glass. It's a short drink. That means that it's quite strong in alcohol. But usually I make this drink as a punch. A couple of days ago, one friend of mine asked me for a red color drink for a party because it was red cream party. And I suggest to make a big pound of Cosmopolitan. But Cosmopolitan is very strong, so if you add some kind of soda, extra juice, or a tea, that will be more refreshing, again, less alcoholic, and you can enjoy it a lot. So I'm gonna keep the glass shape, but it's gonna be actually a bigger one. We are gonna add extra ingredients. I'm gonna change the recipe a lot. If you are a purist of the Cosmopolitan, you won't recognize the recipe. But this is a completely different drink. It's based on a Cosmopolitan. Okay, for this drink, I'm gonna use a shaker. I'm a mixologist, so I need to use my tools somewhere. Even I like making cocktails using spoons or wherever you can find on the home. So we fill the shaker with some ice cubes. Yeah, and then we add vodka. The first ingredient of this recipe. The recipe is cream, 50 ml of vodka, triple sec which is an orange liquor, also alcoholic. And it will also add sweet part of this cocktail. Remember, we always balance the sweetness with some lime or lemon. I'm using lime in this case. Lime juice. I don't want the lime essential oils of this cocktail. So usually now the classic cocktail calls for cranberry juice. I'm gonna substitute the cranberry juice with raspberry syrup. 20 ml of raspberry syrup. Same color of the Cosmopolitan till now. And here it comes the magic. Berry sensation Dilmah tea, which is tea flavored with strawberries, raspberries, and blueberries. Get this amazing color. One of my favorites as well. I'm not gonna shake the tea. I'm gonna keep the measure of tea here. I don't wanna shake. Usually I don't shake tea because it loses flavor. Loses flavor. So I shake the first ingredient. Put it over ice. Looks like a Cosmopolitan now. And then we top up with the cold tea. Again, this tea has been cold infused, room temperature infused for 8 hours. Don't worry, you won't get the bitterness because it's room temperature. If you don't want to keep the tea for 8 hours, you can do it a normal infusion and then remove the tea bag and let it chill. Again, we place a straw and we garnish nice fresh raspberries. Raspberry. And here we go with our fourth cocktail, Cosmopolitan inspired tea cocktail. Starting on the show, which are our teas here. Moroccan mint green tea with the freshness of the mint, the pure Ceylon green tea, the bit bitter, citrusy, herbal, chamomile, sweet chamomile reminds me my childhood when I was not feeling well my stomach. My mom gave me chamomile and the very sensation a lot of people favorite fruity tea. So, what do you think about this?
Alberto, that was amazing. And I love the way you also talk about the aroma. You know, for us as tea tasters, the appearance of the tea is the first step, the aroma second, and finally the taste. So it's beautiful that you appreciate the tea on all the senses, because remember we talked a while ago about one of your colleagues who was using tea extracted into a foam purely for the aromatic influence on the drink and floating the foam on top of the cocktail. Beautiful. I love that kind of thing. So to answer Alberto's suggestion that I explain the teas, Moroccan mint green tea is a combination of green tea, it's pure green tea, with mint leaves. And the combination is beautiful from the taste. As Alberto said, it's minty, it's a delicious balance, because the green tea has certain amount of astringency. The mint beautifully finishes it, but it's also brilliant with meals for the reason that menthol, it aids digestion, the tea, sorry, aids the digestion, and the menthol relaxes the gut. So together they are fantastic in combination together with your meal. The next, our Ceylon green tea, it's astringent because in Sri Lanka we have the broadleaf, the Camellia sinensis assamica, so it's slightly more astringent than in the case of a China green tea, which could be a little softer with the smaller leaves. And then we have chamomile, which Alberto describes so beautifully, floral, beautiful, aromas, gentle, soft taste. And well, one of my favorites and one of our mixologist friends' favorites is berry sensation. Intense, bright, woody, and lots of aroma, beautiful taste of berries, strawberries, raspberries, and so on. So thank you for that. And I'm sorry we didn't show you all the recipe slides. We did show you a few, but we're going to post them all up on the Tea Club. So please come and check it out. So Alberto, of those four, which is your favorite?
This four, well, the one I really am in love with is the Cosmopolitan inspired, because a Cosmopolitan is not really my drink, and with this version, I can socialize with my Cosmopolitan in my hand in these social meetings or parties or whatever I do this punch.
That was the wrong answer. What you should have said is that you would start with the Mojito and you would move all the way down to the Cosmopolitan, starting in the morning, going through the day and coming through to the evening. Beautiful. No, I'm kidding. So all the teas that Alberto used will be on School of Tea Recommends on our global shop. So check it out. But I have a question. Now that Alberto has shared his recipes, we want to know, would you try our tea-inspired drinks? Is that something that you would like to do? Will you definitely do it? Maybe. Is it too much work, or are you a purist? Wow, Alberto, I think you did an amazing job, because we have, we have a few maybes, but 96% definitely will. Yep. I'm glad you agree with my assessment of Alberto. Beautiful drinks, simply, easily put together. I mean, who does 4 drinks in 20 minutes, and beautifully explained? Thank you for that, Alberto.
Thank you.
So with that, we have, remember your module badges. This, you can follow episodes 10 to 12, and you can claim your module 4 badge. And what's coming up next? We have Tea Inspiration with the Queen of Cheese. We have Betty coming on in the 11th of November, just in time for Christmas. And then we have Alberto again, but joined by our fellow tea mixologists and tea gastronomy, Peter Kuruvita. So hosted by Peter, we have Robert Sinkel, Tomek Marwick, Alberto, and I'm sorry, but I'll be there too. And that's on the 9th of December. I want to thank you all for joining us at this session of the School of Tea. Thank you to the Aussies for staying up, and the Kiwis, and to everyone else. Thank you for joining us, and have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. Stay safe.